All right. Today's day 47 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We left off at 42% of the way through learning Python. Yesterday actually ended quite well. We completed lists and dictionaries. Now, using lists and dictionaries, we're going to tackle a day at the supermarket lesson. So we're gonna throw down, little kitty. Isn't that right? Yeah, me and you learning Python through thick and thin. All right, you ready? No, you're coming over. Scratches? Okay. I think the important thing here is to ignore the cat. Although, cat, you will need to move like, I don't know, 8.5 inches to the left or right so I can see the screen. You're super in the way right now. Yeah, good. You're moving. You're exploring. All right. Let's just shimmy your tail out of the way. Before we begin. Before we begin our exercise, Cat, you're in the way again. You almost made it through the first sentence. Tell you what, you're adorable, but I'm gonna move you. Oh god, so much cat. Here you go. Felinectomy successful. Oh god. Okay. Where do we leave off? Before we begin our exercise, we should go over the Python for loop one more time. For now, we are only going to go over the for loop in terms of how it relates to lists and dictionaries. We'll explain more cool for loop uses in later courses. Oh, look at you. Yeah, you have a tail. That's right. You're a cat. Okay, for loops. For loops allow us to iterate through all of the elements in a list from the leftmost or zeroth element. Is that a word? Oh, hey little cat. That's interesting. Normally you don't come up that way. Directly. Yeah, through. There's good. As long as you don't claw my crotch, we'll be okay. Do you need to you're just gonna chill? Are you coming up or just you're okay, good. As long as your claws don't come out, I think we'll be alright. A little nervous. I'm gonna shimmy back. There was a cat in my crotchal region. Here you go. Hold on. Hey, yeah, smile for the camera. That's right. Psst, whiskers. Hey, focus. There we go. Okay, so this is what I'm staring at right now. Oh yeah, you're getting comfy. Da 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 da. Oh. Da 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 da. Can you see? Yeah. The no, and turning. There we go. So that's her. Yeah, just all nestled right there in my lap, doing her thing. Okay, so back to focusing on coding. Apparently, having a cat is a prerequisite for learning Python. They don't tell you that, but I've learned over the last week or so that's the only way to learn it. Where did Twitch go? There we go. We got chat back up. Yeah, nice. Golden. Okay. There we go. All is well in the world. Good. So, with that said, back to Python. For loops, iterating, something or other, right? There was zeroth, the leftmost or zeroth element. Never seen that word before, but good to know it exists. To the rightmost element. A sample loop would be structured as follows. A equals a list of some sort for x in a blah. Do something for every x. This loop will run all of the code in the intended block under the for x in a statement. The item in the list that is currently being evaluated will be x. So running the following for item in 1321 print item would print 1, then 3, and then 21. The variable between for and in can be set to any variable name currently item, but should be careful to avoid using the word list as a variable, since that's a reserved word. That is, it means something special in the Python language. Aha. Careful what you say, kitty, around these parts of town. People are listening in Python land. All right? Noted. Instructions. Use a for loop to print out all of the elements in the list names. Okay. And get live support. Yeah, fast go to pro. Good, of course, right? Want help, spend money. Good. So we're going to take for blah A equals a list of stuff for something in A. Do that. So for item in blank print items. So we're going to take this and we're going to kind of manipulate it. Copy. They've already provided us with names and the values, strings, whatever you want to call it. We're going to say for names. And actually, I think in you know what? I don't think that's going to fly. We're going to see how it plays out. For x in names. Maybe it's just print names. We're going to try print names first. But it's supposed to loop it. Print names. Save and submit. Super wrong. Good. Expected indent. Unexpected indent. Your code looks a bit off. Check the hint if you need help. Your code through the following error. The sample code. So we had a list of some sort. Check. For x in A. And then do something. So for names in names. Print. Yeah, we're going to try that again. We're going to take this. We're going to take you. Dun, 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 and we're just going to swap out for names in names. Print names. Doesn't feel quite right, but we'll see. That was right. We got Adam, Alexis, Mariah, Martine, interesting, Columbus. Way cool. We did it, Cat, and you've totally passed out. Good, good. Next. Section 2. How many sections are there? 2 of 13. Alright. This is key. You can also use a for loop on a dictionary to loop through the keys with the following simple dictionary: D, foobar, good. For key in D, print D key, prints bar. Interesting. For key in D, print D key, and it will print bar. Whoa, hey, just me. Just me. Move my hand, cat freaked out. Note the dictionaries are unordered, meaning that anytime you loop through a dictionary, you will go through every key, but you are not guaranteed to get them in any particular order. Use a for loop to go through the Webster dictionary and print out all of the definitions. Webster. Webster dictionary. That's funny. Mildly funny. Mildly interesting. Hint. The definitions are the values associated with each key. Print Webster Aardvark will give you an output of a star of a popular children's cartoon show. I guess. The sound a goat makes. Carpet goes on the floor. Dab a small amount. Add your code below. Alright, so we are supposed to do what now? Use a for loop to go through the Webster dictionary to print out all of the definitions. Good, good. So, we are going to take... We'll actually reference their example again. For key in D, print D key. For blank in I think it's the same as the last section. My issue is the key, because I think I'm supposed to print all keys, so I feel like I should print all of Webster. You know, if I was just trying to print carpet, I would put for carpet in Webster, print Webster carpet, and it would spit out the definition goes on the floor. But I'm trying to get all the definitions, so I believe it's for Webster in Webster, print Webster again, and it's just going to spit out a rectang, I think. Let's find out. Only one way to find out is to try. So Webster, and Webster. All right. All I can think of is Gary Coleman right now. All right. Different Webster. Submit. Green checkbox again. We're on fire, little cat. Can you believe that? 2 sections down in Python. And no tears. Although this is the beginning. Usually it starts to get terrible about the, about halfway through. So, we'll see. We'll see. Control flow and looping. The blocks of code are in a for loop. The blocks of code in a for loop can be as big or as small as they need to be. While looping, you may want to perform different actions depending on the particular item in the list. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. For number in numbers, if number is greater than 6, Print number. Print, we printed 7. In the above example, we create a list with the number with 4 numbers in it. Then we loop through the numbers list and store each item in the list in the variable name. On each loop, if the number is greater than 6, we print it out, so we print 7. Finally, we print out a sentence. Make sure to keep track of your indentation or you may get confused. Okay, indenting is key. Instructions, like step 2 above. Like step 2 above. Loop through each item in the list called A. All right. So 4A in A. That's what we're going to be doing. Like step 3 above. Cat hair. Death. Little cat, you're just napping. You're contaminating our area. Yeah, I'm looking at you. All right. Like step 3 above, if the number is even, print it out. You can test if the item %2 equals 0. That's divisible by 2. And if it equals 0, interesting to help you out. All right. So I feel like that's fairly straightforward. I really just want to throw this in. You know what? No. Screw that noise. We're going to type it in ourselves. That's right, little cat. We're going off the trail. Forging our own. 4A in A. D-D-D. 4A in A. That was 2. List above, if number, print, if the item is blah. So, D-D-D-D-D-D-D. If, A is divisible by 2 and has no remainder, 0, then print that guy out. Right? Print number. No, print A. Print A. And then we can write, what do we write? We printed, oh, I guess we don't need to have a message, like, again, looking at their example, right here, they've got a lovely, we printed stuff. I was gonna put, like, we printed even numbers. Even, right, but we won't do that, because that's not part of the instructions. So we're just gonna leave it at this. And fingers crossed, this doesn't blow up in our face. Let's do a colon. The all-important colon. And looks good, little cat. Let's do this. Aha! Yeah? Impressive? You're impressed. Good. No one else is, but, you know, since you're a cat, you are. Nice. Alright. Section 3, down. Onwards. Section 4. List and functions. Functions can also take lists as inputs and perform various operations on those lists. Right. Define count small numbers. Total equals 0. For n in numbers, already blanked out. If n is less than 10, total equals total plus 1, return total. Lost 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, something small, count small, lost, print. I'm so confused, but what? I think they're going to explain here. I was just reading this noise and lost interest, frankly. Okay. In the above example, we defined a function count. We defined a function count small that has one argument, numbers. 2, we initialize a variable total that we can use in the for loop for each item n in numbers. If n is less than 10, we increment total. After the for loop, we return total. After the function defined, we create an array of numbers called lost. We call the count small function, pass in lost, and store the returned result in small. Finally, we print out the return result, which is 2, since only 4 and 8 are less than 10. Gotcha. It's easier to read through, but let's continue on. We've got our own little slice of hell we get to deal with right here. So let's figure that out first. Write a function that counts as many times the string fizz appears in a list. Write a function called fizzCount that takes a list X as input, create a variable count to hold the ongoing count, initialize it to 0 for each item in X. If that item is equal to the string fizz, then increment the count variable. After the loop, please return the count variable. For example, fizzCount, fizz, cat, fizz should return 2. This is a strange example, but yes, I suppose if you had fizzy cats, little kitty, are you fizzy? No, you're just tired. You're just napping. Good. She's still there, just sleeping away. Hint. Try making a counter variable, for example, count. In your function, the counter variable could initially be set to 0. After that, you can loop through the list that you take as input and increase count by 1 every time an item in the list is equal to the string fizz. At the end, don't forget to return the number to fizz. Don't forget to return the number of fizzes. Okay, we are definitely... So after reading all that, I kind of get the general idea. So we're defining a variable. Define count small in regards to numbers. We're taking... We have a total, which equals 0. For n in numbers, if n is less than 10, for the total, it will be the total plus 1. And then we're going to return the total after it's run through this noise. Then it returns. Okay. With the plus 1. Lost. Our values for lost are 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42. Small equals count small, same variable we described before, and it's looking at lost, all this noise, and now it's going to print the small, the small variable, or the small set. Good. So it's all this nonsense together that's getting printed here. I think that's what's happening. But now we get to piece that nightmare together right here. So, baby steps. We're going to take this just as guidance for now. And in fact, we may take... You know what? We'll leave that there. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. Write a function that counts how many times the string fizz appears in a list. I don't think we're... So, I don't know if we're going to have the print section. It's definitely... We're going to have return. Or worst case, it'll be return fizz. But we'll continuing on. Write a function that counts how many times the string fizz appears in a list. All right. 1. Write a function called fizzCount that takes a list X as input. Define fizzCount. Define fizzCount takes a list X as the input. Create a variable count to hold the ongoing count. Initialize it to 0. Count 0. For each item in X, if that item is equal to the string fizz, then increment the count variable. Okay. For each item in X. So for X in X, right? I think that's what it's going to be. For X in X. We might be getting off track, but let's keep going. For each item in X, if that item is equal to the string fizz, then increment the count variable. What? If that item is equal to the string fizz, then increment the count variable. So if... This is weird because they've got n10, but hold on. Just trying to keep everything all ordered and in line in my mind. If that item is equal, so if X is equal to fizz, yeah, if X is equal to fizz, then increment the count variable, count, which equals count plus, then increment the count variable. Count, is it just count plus 1? I think it's just count plus 1. After the loop, please return count variable. Return count. Okay. So, shouldn't I have X somewhere and like fizz and stuff? Maybe this isn't quite necessary just yet. Let's see what happens when we save and submit this. Super wrong. File Python line 2, define fizz count x, invalid syntax. Maybe it's define x is fizz count. Maybe it's fizz. Define x is the other thing is fizz looks stupid. They have one, no, they've got double quotes for fizz. Okay, one, we didn't have anything defined, and two, look at this nonsense. No quote there. Of course it's confused. Doesn't know what to do with itself. Fizz count. Oh, and the key value. Right. So x. So wait, we do x colon fizz? Oh god, I don't even know. We're just gonna call it fizz count. Wrong. Let's see what happens. Something terrible. I've broken the internet again. Son of a count. That's okay. This is good, because we get to figure it out, which is our favorite part of the day. Learning. We will solve problem solving time. The internet's broken. We get to fix it. Happy thoughts. Just because it broke does not mean failure, it means an opportunity to succeed. Here we go. Here we go. What section were we in? Section 4, lists and functions. List and functions. Confusing, but I got it. List and functions, not looping. And, you know what, we're gonna stick with that. You know what, list and functions, something of value. Oh, well. There, we have 4. 4 is a good set of things to check out, right? Oh, why is the eye so itchy? Itchy eye, right? Okay. I'm going through the exercise. Let's see what they have to say. Microsolver. I'm going through the exercise as I can, but some things are either not explained or vaguely hinted at, and it's throwing me off. Yeah, well, welcome to the last 47 days of Codecademy. If that doesn't, you know, convey exactly what we've been dealing with, I don't think anything else does. As a result, I seem to be overcomplicating my code. List plus functions had me confused, and searching only gave me results that confuse me even more. In the exercise, it doesn't specify if you create the list for fuzz count to use yet forums, topics, people. I don't like his sentence. In the exercise, it does not specify that you create the list fizz count to use yet forums topics had people creating variables for it. When I tried it would throw up an error. In the end, I used the code below and saw that the exercise itself gives input to the code. Why is this not stated clearly? I can't be the first person to be confused by this, although I am the first in the recent post, it seems. Yeah, right. Just, it's been friggin' brutal. 4 hours ago. Well, thank God we didn't try this 4 hours ago, or this guy wouldn't have had his post to reference, so. See? Alright, at one point I was so close, but I was adding more code instead of making sure what I had was written correct. It turns out that my problem was having for item in X. If item equals fizz, count equals count plus 1, return count. Oh. For item in X, if item equals fizz, count plus. What the hell's the difference? Well, I mean, I get this, but even I managed to keep the indentation in check, especially for the last line, right? For count equals count plus 1 if X equals fizz for X in X. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I was closer to success than I realized. And why does he have for item in X? You know what? Maybe item is just a reference. I think item is just noise. Yeah. Let's, hold on. Hold the phone. Fizz count X for item in X. If X equals fizz. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh. Mine's not all the way over. But look, their example is here. Why would they have returned all the way to the left? We'll run it again. Instead of 0. Oh. Fizz count fizz buzz return 0 instead of the correct answer 1. Well, we're certainly very close. Your code appears to raise an error. See the code, return outside function. I like that we get different error codes with the different location of return, because it's running differently. Where it runs the return is based off if it's running it based off here, or here, or here, or all the way at the beginning. I know it's causing problems, but it's just neat to see that how it views it. Okay. So again, I feel like we've got the generally correct close setting to what we need, but clearly there be beef. Something's up. Something is up. We'll keep digging, but I definitely think we're on the right path. So for item in X instead of for X in X. Yeah. We're gonna leave that for now. Maybe it's count. Is it count plus 1 or just plus 1? I want to do count plus 1. No. We're gonna leave it because they have total plus 1. What's that, little cat? Yeah. Good. Write your function below. Define fizz count X. Count equals 0. Item X. If fizz count return. Okay. Oh, we didn't read as, okay, yeah, so instead of blah. I know it's not a question that can be answered with Oh, it's this, but I'm wondering why do some exercises leave out key details like the fact that the exercise will be giving your code input and it isn't shown on screen. Am I missing something? What is his name? Microsolver 66319. No Microsolver 66319. You're not wrong. It's just wildly inconsistent, which is unbelievably frustrating. So you are fully justified in feeling that way. We've been nothing but confused for the last 47 days. But yeah, good. Am I missing something? I am more willing to admit I have missed something obvious, but it seems like a lot of other people just created the input. I'm trying to learn this, but it feels like the instructions could be explained more clearly. Yeah, good. Thank you so much. I was having the same problem. I didn't know it already defined item. I want to see this compared to mine because it looks freakishly similar to what I have. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of code. We've got count and 4 and return at the same mark. Count and 4 and return at the same mark. If followed by count plus 1. If followed by count plus 1. You know what else we can do? We can remove that. Here's this. And let's just drop it over what we have. So we're gonna delete it. I'm not gonna paste. I'm gonna do Command Z to undo. So this is my code. Delete, Command Z. So that's my code. But now I'm gonna paste over on top of it. Here we go. This is currently my code. And then pasting. Oh, look at that. Command Z. Command V. So this is the other code. So if item equals fizz, I had if x equals fizz. You see that on line 5? So here's my code if x equals fizz versus if item equals fizz. Ta-da! Look at that. Look at that. So we're gonna run that. Success. Beautiful. Green checkbox. We didn't need the other 3. Very good. Very good. All right. Closing that nonsense. D. Yeah, my confusion was not basically along the same lines. How item is already defined. You don't see the list. You don't see anything like item equals fizzcat, anything like that. Kind of like this. They don't show that over here or in the example. They don't indicate that it's filled out. So as I was going through and just replacing variables, but you know what? Looking at it, for item in X, I should have known N is if N, so for item, which we had here, was for X. Although, in all fairness, I originally had 4X in X, so, which means I copied X down here. But I digress. We figured it out. Onwards. Section 5, string looping. As we've mentioned, strings are like lists with characters as elements. You can loop through strings the same way you loop through lists. Well, we won't ask you to do that in this section. We've put an example in the editor of how looping through a string might work. For letter in Codecademy, print letter. Empty lines make the output pretty. Print, print. Word, programming is fun. 4 letters in Word, only print out the letter I. If letter equals I, print the letter. So we're going to do save and submit, run the code. You earned a badge, 500 extra. What? We haven't done 500 exercises, have we? 47 days. Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, if each section has about 10 activities, and we've done 50 days of coding, basically, yeah, 50 times 10, 500. Wow, that's weird. 500 exercises down. What do you know? We can... Do I share that? Do I tweet it? Quit. Yeah. Hashtag coding. Dee. All right, close. Close. Yes. Close. Do we care about the sharing? What happens if I hit share? Oh. Ah, there we go. Share this on a page you manage. Wait, what am I sharing? Sharing a page you manage. PDXinc. It's just sending Codecademy. That's it. It's not even saying the 500 thingy. Facebook is. Soul crushing. Alright, we're closing out of that nonsense. You want to leave your changes may not be saved. Of course we don't want them to be saved. Craziness. Alright. Closing out of that. Leave. Close. Cool. 500 exercises down. And what happened? Run the code to see string iteration in action. Codecademy. II. Print letter in Word. Only print out the letter I if the letter. The last little bit's kind of confusing me. I'm not sure. Programming. Oh. It's comparing them. If you were to just do for letter in Codecademy versus for the word, here's our variable, word, programming is fun, and it's only going to print out the letter I's. So that's all of Codecademy with no filtering, for lack of a better word. And here is the I from programming, and here's the I from is. And there's no I in fun, so clever. Good. Section 6. 500 down. That's a lot of nonsense we've done. I'm gonna actually check my Twitter feed. Yeah, that's right. Because I can. You know, that's kind of strange. The tweet, as I'm noticing it. I just unlocked a given badge on Codecademy, and it has codecademy.com via @codecademy. They have @codecademy twice in there. I don't really think that's necessary. We'll deal with that later. But, you know, that's a thing. Something to be aware of. They're overly clear on where their tweets came from. Not very clear on the instructions. Alright. 6. Your own store. Time to open up shop, little kitty. She's still napping there. How long has it been? It's been, 50 minutes. Yeah. She is a napper from way back. Born to nap. Okay. Your own store. Right. Onwards. Okay. On to the core of our project. See, the fun hasn't even started yet. Now it's starting. This has just been this has been the build-up to all this. Congratulations, you are the proud owner of your very own Codecademy brand supermarket. Animal counts. Ant 3, bear 6, crow 2. I don't think a lot of grocery stores sell bear. You know, that's at least not in my part of town. In the example above, we create a new dictionary called animal counts with 3 entries. One of the entries has the key ant and the value 3. Instructions. I would like to note there is no hint tab on this page. Now maybe it's just super straightforward, but you are speaking to a guy who's done 500 exercises, right? Yeah, ridiculous. Not that special, but still enough. 500 of them have had hints, and the 501st exercise we've done, this is the first out of 500 that doesn't have one. I mean, that's great that there are 500, but I just find it odd that this one's missing it. Probably shouldn't worry about it. Continuing on. It's the consistency thing, right? No, doesn't bother anyone. It's only me that it frustrates. Me and Microsolver, apparently, are the only 2 people out of the 7 billion on the planet, and out of how many are using Codecademy, that find their inconsistency frustrating. But I digress. Focus on the instructions. Onwards. 1. Create a new dictionary called prices using curly braces. Format like the example above. Put these values in your prices. Dictionary between the curly braces, banana 4, apple 2, orange 1.5, pear 3. Yeah, this place is really expensive. Your supermarket subsidizes the zoo from the last course. Great. So that's pretty damn straightforward. Prices. Equals. What does it equal? Let's go with D D D D D D D D D D. Oh my god, little cat. The ship is going down right as the battle's picking up. Your sleepiness is wearing off on me. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna throw in this noise. Boom. Drop it in. Oh, that is ugly. Why? Why does that look like that? Those don't belong there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful, beautiful. And enter backsies. Adding the curly and submit. Beautiful green check mark. Lovely, lovely. Section 7. Investing in stock. Good work. As a store manager, you're also in charge of keeping track of your stock/inventory. Create a stock dictionary with the values below. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't. So let's do stock equals curly. There we go. Look at this. We are well prepared. 32 oranges. I don't think they have oranges in Skyrim, but if they did, I would be sure to carry no less than 32 at all times. Don't wanna run out of our vitamin C, right? Okay. Stock life, save and submit. What? What? Did I do something wrong? Why? Oh, hold up. Hold the phone. Wait a second. Wait a second. If section 6 loads. Create a new dictionary called prices. Put these values in your prices dictionary between blah. That was all well and good. Section 6, investing in stock. Good work as a store manager. You're also in charge of keeping track of your stock inventory. Create a stock dictionary with these values below. Okay. Is it just not like this? Did they give up on creating this section? Remember to use curly braces to make each dictionary. Don't forget to separate each key value with a pair. Key value pair with a comma. So that's all that's missing is the commas, but I get that. That's why they did that. I'm assuming. I'm trying to stay as positive as possible. But section 6, since we pulled commas, since we pulled from the example, they all have commas here. And it's essentially the same exact lesson, but we're doing it again. We're using this information, but it doesn't have the commas. Good way to focus on getting us to do that. Slightly touches on the consistency thing, but I can see why. I do understand their methods or reasoning. I understand their reasoning. I'm not sure I understand their methods for doing that. But we'll try again. Fire away. Green check marks. thanks to our friend the comma. All right. Section 8 of 13. We are making our way there. Keeping track of the produce. Now that you have all your product info, you should print out all of your inventory information. Once, A value 1, B value 2, twice, A value 2, B value 4. 4 key in once. Print once. For percentage, that the placeholder, once key, twice key. Slightly confused. In the above example, we create 2 dictionaries, once and twice, that have the same keys. Because we know that they have the same keys, we can loop through one dictionary and print values from both once and twice. What? We're going to read 2 once more. Because we know that they have the same keys, okay, A and B, yes, the values in the keys in both dictionary, once and twice, are the same. They both share A keys and they both share B keys. The values are different in once and the values are different in twice, but the keys are the same in both dictionaries. Gotcha. Okay, so 2. Because we know that they have the same keys, we can loop through one dictionary and print values from both once and twice. Okay. Instructions. Loop through each key in prices. Loop through each key in prices. Like the example above, for each key, print out the key along with its price and stock information. Print the answer in the following format: apple, price, stock. Like the example above, because you know that the prices in stock dictionary have the same keys, you can access the stock dictionary while you are printing through prices. When you're printing out, you can use the syntax from the example above. Okay, so we are just going to borrow this. Hey, claws, no. Look at this. Oh, not long enough. That's okay. She's kind of awake, aren't you? You're exhausted. Trying to avoid learning Python while I'm trying to learn Python. You see that? We're like yin and yang. You're asleep avoiding life, and I'm awake trying to learn how to code. Isn't that nice? We balance each other out. Good. Okay. For reals, those you've been sleeping for an hour and 3 minutes, so you might want to think about doing something with your life, little cat. No rush though. So we are taking the example from here, dropping that in. So we're gonna do. Well, we don't really need once or twice. We already have that. We have once, blah 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 blah. We have twice, blah 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 blah. 4 key in once. What the hell are they talking about? Loop through each key. So we're going to do 4 prices in prices. Like the example above, for each key, print out the key. Right? That came out of nowhere. Like the example above, for each key, print out the key along with its price and stock information. Print the answer in the following format. Blah 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 blah. Like the example. Okay, good. So I think I've got it. For prices, don't claw my wrist, cat. You don't want me bleeding out on stream. At least not today. At least let me finish the section first. For prices, in prices, print. Whoa, watch those claws, swinging them around. You and your stretching. Prices. Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. Oh god. We're going downhill. Price? Now I wonder if they want prices or price. We'll do price. This is just, we're printing out. This could be anything. This could say penguin for all we care. But we're gonna stick with price and stock. Hey, ephemeral progress. Yeah, we're coming along. We're doing good. Apparently, I've done 500 exercises so far. You know, so there's 13 here in this section. I think it was like section, claws, little cat. That is right where my heart is. Whew. Okay, look, just stretch elsewhere. But yeah, 500 exercises, 47 days. For price, in prices instead of prices, in prices, in key. And then say price. Yes, good, I think. For price, in prices instead of plural to plural. And key should then say price. Gotcha. Consistency. I like it. That's clever. So we got price, in price, singular, versus in plural, which is our friend up here. Right? Good. Which means this would be Jesus. Well, it's supposed to be everything. So we would do prices and key. Prices and price, I think. That feels right, based off this. What's yes, okay, so ephemeral said the same thing. Yeah, prices and price. Cool. Okay, that's good. Why do I have stock and J? What is happening here? Oh, I missed K. That's that's happening. Okay, stock, and then similar to that, we've got this would be son of a. This was price. I want to say stock and stock. Hold on. Hold the phone. Twice, and then key. I think, honestly, for some reason, I think it would be stock and price. And then we don't need this noise, because that was just our example from above, or over here. But this is really what we need, because once and twice from the example is really stock and prices. So I think we've got commas, we've got colons, curly braces are closed, price, in prices, price, prices, and here we had once, and key, and now we've got twice, and key. It may need to be stock to stock. Basically, they map keys definitions like real life dictionary. In this case, you have a dictionary called prices. Yes. You can iterate over all its keys by doing for price in prices. My concern is that last little bit of stock, though. Oh, yep, stock. Hold the phone. We were far closer with price. Okay, so what's going down? So in this case, you have a dictionary called price. You can iterate over all its keys by doing for price in prices. Price will be a different key on each loop. In this case, it works because your keys are the same for both dictionaries. Normally, this wouldn't work. Oh, stock on stock doesn't work because in the loop, the only key variable is price. Yes, got that. Yeah, when I tried stock and that blew up in my face. But their issue now, you should have exactly 3 print statements. Make sure there are no occurrences of print in any comment or string. I'm not sure what they're trying to get at in the last bit. You should have exactly 3 print statements. Why should I have 3 print statements? Oh, right. Because I need to have, I need to include this. So I need to include the item. So I need to print, there we go, totally missed it. Print, oh, damn. I would do, hold on. I'm gonna do each print, with the S. So if I'm trying to get each item, I don't know if that's actually right, but I can see where I'm headed. My brain feels itchy. This is like the monkey with his hand in the jar, and like they can see the apple, but they could just pour the apple out, but they want to like pull. Yeah, no. We're so close. Okay, so if I wanted those, I would simply print the item. I think just... Damn, no. What would I do to get each one to print each time? Well, I want to see what the error, because the errors do kind of help sometimes, at least for me. So I want to see not print prices, but with no. We're definitely affecting something. All right, so that's good. Check your code print for oranges. It doesn't look quite right. Okay, so we need each one. We're on the edge. We're gonna do do I do price again? No, because that's the value. Wait a second. It's the value each time. So let's just do... No. because that's printing 4, 5, 6 for each one. We've got the bottom part right. You want to print only the key. So I would do... Oh, it's just price? Okay. Because we're naming... So the reason why it's just price is because prices is the dictionary, and we're referring to each item or, well, dictionary. Well, this is the dictionary, but for each key and value, each set or pair, each key and value pair, we're referring to as price. So that's why I'm going to be printing price, and that should give me each individual component. Apple, banana, and orange. The key is the first half. Gotcha. Price is the key. Prices and price gets the value mapped to the key. Does that make sense? Yes, definitely. Think of the dictionaries being mapped up as pairs. The key is the first half. The value definition is the second half. You can only access the value definition by plugging in the key. So we are inputting just the key. It's the reference bit. I'm still, like, I get it now. But up until this point, I was struggling on fully grasping this. Because, like, it makes sense that I can see prices here and I see prices there. I see it match up. But not seeing where price comes from, like, price isn't referenced anywhere else. But that's because I'm establishing price. And then that gets referenced later on here. So good. That's all. Ta-da! Green check mark. See that, little cat? Huh? Alright, you can only access the value... the value definition, yeah, by the plug in the key, but the key itself is distinct from the value definition. Yeah, that's the part that I struggle with, because it's not there. I'm the one to establish it. So I'm trying to look for something that I'm supposed to bring to the table. Alright, so oranges and pears and bananas and apples. Oh my. Next, 9 of 13. Ephemeral, thank you for all your assistance. Greatly appreciated. Would have been me yelling about fruit while little kitty naps in my lap for the next hour and a half. Okay. Something of value. For paperwork and accounting purposes, let's record the total value of your inventory. It's nice to know what we're worth. Let's determine how much money you would make if you sold all of your food. Create a variable called total and set it to 0. Loop through the prices dictionaries. For each key in prices, multiply the number in prices by the number in stock. Print that value into the console and then add it to total. Finally, outside your loop, print total. Int. The value of any given product is its number of items in the stock multiplied by its price. For instance, the total cost for bananas would be 24, a price of 4 multiplied by 6 bananas in stock. You should print the number all by itself, no need for any additional text. Okay. So let's do total. And actually, square one. All right, create a total and set it to 0. Total equals 0. Loop through the prices dictionary. All right. Loop through, we do 4 price in prices, and for each key in prices, multiply the number in price, which would be all these guys, the values, $4 for a banana, $2 for an apple. Okay, so we're going to take, for each key in price, multiply the number in price by the number in stock. So I think we're simply going to take price times... Are we able to do just price times stock? I think so, because it's the same keys, and they're in the same order. Price times stock. Print that value into the console. Print that value into the console. Oh. Print total equals wait a second. Like, I understand it's simple multiplication, but it's just adding it in. We had this. We had print. Total equals 0. Check. For price in prices. But we're going to take... I think I can just print here. Print. Price equals stock. For each key, multiply the number in the prices and print that value into the console, and then add it to total. Total equals 0. For price in prices, print price times stock. And actually, I want to test that first. I know it's going to give me an error or whatever saying it's not complete, but just to check, trace back. Oh, line 21, can't multiply sequence by non-integer type. Okay, all right. No money. Holding phone. Da 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 da. We're gonna take you. Where do we leave off? Section 3. For each key in prices, multiply the number in price by the number in stock. Print that value into the console, then add it to total. So it would be price and stock plus total? No. I also know at some point we're just going to have print total. I also know we're going to have print the value and add it to total. She's sleeping. She's twitching in my lap. Ephemeral. You're trying to multiply the key by an entire dictionary. You want to access the values using the key. Do I need to do it for each one then? Like banana, apple, orange, and pear? I think this might take more typing. So let's do what would that be? That would be banana. Oh wait. Similar to the loop on line 14. For key in. Wait a second. That's totally different than. Hold on. Don't mind me. Copy. Reset. I just realized. Wait for it. Wait for it. I went back a section. Alright. This is what I had. I was confused. For price, in prices, print price, print blah 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 blah. This is all my stuff, my code that I added. This is the last section, section 8 that we just got through. And here's prices in stock. Now we go to section 9, the next section. And this is what they have. They changed it to key. Print key. And I know key, that's the thing, we can determine this value. But still, so it changed. There's a consistency thing through Codecademy. Anyways, it makes it hard to focus. Or to maintain that same, I don't know, consistency, learning, figuring out what to do. Rice or key or spaghetti. Yes, yeah, I know. But mentally for me, it looked so similar. I'm still fixating on things. I need to get past the fixation of whatever it is, because it's just a variable. Alright. So you want to access the values using the key instead. It's similar to loop in loop 14. It doesn't matter whether you call it price, key, spaghetti, just placeholder. Noted. Onwards. So with that said, create a variable, call it total. We had we had total equals 0. And then we have loop through the price dictionaries, which is for key in prices. For each key in prices, multiply the number in prices by the number in stock. So we take key prices. Wait, no. Prices key times prices, no, times stock key. And then we're going to be printing code is more of an art than a science. Things can be pretty messy. Yes. I agree. The other thing, again, it's I don't know, each lesson I'm clinging, because I mean this isn't a lot of information. Here's the backstory or a little anecdote. Here's a couple lines of instructions, and occasionally they'll give a hint. So like it's minimal information. I know it's all still early on, but coming from ground zero, I'm 47 days past ground zero, of essentially no knowledge, but it's still at a point so early where every word counts and the instructions change, like the flow of it, so much from section to section. It's interesting, it's unique. The ideas, like I can see where it's going ideally, but code doesn't work that way. Coding is extremely, it needs to be the same key. The code needs to compile, basically. So there's not a lot of room for error. It either compiles or it doesn't compile, and it's just trying to like make it happen. It's bridging that gap. I'm hoping past day 50 will be easier. I'm just waiting for it to all click in place. But anywho, total equals 0. 4 key in prices. We're doing the prices key times the stock keys, and then we're going to print that as, we're going to print that as the total. We're going to, I don't think it'll ever really click. Oh god, you just get comfortable with certain things, but you'll always be uncomfortable with others. Yeah, that's true. That's also another reason, I know a lot of people come to Codecademy to focus on one language. That's the other thing. It's good if you just pick one or a few to like kind of get a taste and then go elsewhere. I definitely don't think it's common to try and power through all of Codecademy, because I'm trying to process it as one major course that flows into each other. I know you can link all the languages, but the way I'm going about it inherently is wrong. So that's another thing with my perspective. Within each course, yeah, there's definitely a flow to it, but I'm trying to stitch all the courses and my understanding together, but they're all different languages and separate languages, so it's just, I'm getting used to that. All right, we have total equals 0. We have key, 4 key in prices, the prices key time the stock key, and then we're going to print somehow, we need to get it as the total. Print that value. So can we just do, we're just going to do this. We're just going to print, we're going to print that value. And this equals total. Do we make it equal to total? Let's first find out. I just want to see if it works. Oranges, 1.5 stock pair. What is... print total equals... I wouldn't jump between languages, but yeah, some people sometimes follow different guides. Right now you're learning concepts, not syntax. Yeah, and it's easier to see the concepts. It's the syntax that's difficult for me to process, because it's not all... Some sets of instructions are very clear with the syntax to use, and some are more vague in general. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. something of value. Something of value, because I am so close yet so far away. For key in prices, print key, print prices, key total. What did I do wrong? Start with 0 and total before the loop. Oh, so they have print total elsewhere. Interesting. So print prices, fruit key times stock, total equals that, and then print total. Aha. So that we're so close. So it's 2 of these. So we're going to split this. So we're going to have that equals that, print blank, total equals blank, and then print total. Right now, as you're learning Python has the easiest of all syntaxes, and I'm struggling with it, which is not a good sign. I don't know, I did okay with HTML and CSS, although I had attempted HTML and CSS a couple years ago. That was very basic. Total equals. Looks like your code didn't print the correct total. We were right there. Oh, total plus equals. HTML and CSS aren't programming language, they're template languages. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because there was other stuff, even like the, what was it? Codecademy has their SAS course as well, and that was like secondary. That was just more what was it? More ways to manipulate CSS. It wasn't, I mean, so it was still CSS, it just added on top of it. I don't know, it didn't really change anything. I mean, obviously it changes a lot, but it was how to do it. Kind of streamlined it a little bit more if you had to process like or design a whole website. But I like Python. I've just been struggling with Python. I think I enjoy it the most, but it's been the hardest for me to pick up for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, well, we finally got check marks for that. So on to 10. Shopping at the market. Great work. Now we're going to take a step back from the management side and take a look through the eyes of the shopper. In order for customers to order online, we're going to want to have to make a customer interface. Don't worry, it's easier than it sounds. First, let's make a list called groceries. with the values banana, orange, and apple. Boom. Groceries. Is it equals? All right. That. Oh, remember to use square brackets. Okay, there's this. Green check mark. Okay, we've got our list. Making a purchase. We have they specify how something should look rather than specifying logical instructions. Hint. Braces, curly, brackets, the squared off edges, and then parentheses. Good. Noted. Need to get that as a bumper sticker. Okay. Making a purchase. We're on 11 of 13, little cat. I want to say we're going strong. That's not really accurate. We're going. We haven't sank yet. Definitely taken on water, but, you know, I think that's more important. It'd be less impressive if it were easy. The fact that we're still going and struggling, that means something. All right, making a purchase. Good. Now you're going to need to know how much you're paying for all the items on your grocery list. Define some numbers. The total equals 0. For number in numbers, total plus equal number greater than or equal to? I don't know what that is. I mean, I keep seeing it, but anywho, return total. Do we know what's the official name of oh god, why can't I click away from it? What's the official reference for the plus and equal sign? I know the caret and the equal sign is either greater than or less than or equal to, but plus minus equals? Do we know if there's a specific phrase, verbiage to use to identify that? Anywho, return total n equals 1 through blah, print summary, or print sum n. Okay, fairly straightforward. In the above example, we first define a function called sum with an argument numbers. Total plus equals item just means total equals total plus item. Gotcha. Well, total minus item means total minus. No. Yeah, I understand the functionality of it. I was just wondering if it had a name. Like the caret and the equal sign is greater than or equal to. But I didn't know if there was a specific, if the plus and equal sign was like a set concept or idea, if it had a name. I understand how it functions, or if it was a minus in the equals, but yeah, good. So that's that. No special name that we're aware of. Okay, good, awesome. Because with me saying plus, total plus equals number, I didn't know if that was the novice, newbie way of saying it. So that's all. Where did we leave off? Section 1. In the above example, we first define a function called sum with an argument of numbers. We initialize the variable total that we will use as our running sum for each number in the list. We add that number to the running sum total. At the end of the function, we return the running sum. After the function, we create n, a list of numbers. Finally, we create a sum numbers function with the variable n and print the result. Ta-da, right there at the bottom. Sum n printed. Cool. Instructions. Here we go. Define a function, compute bill, that takes on one argument, food. So compute bill, parentheses, food. Gotcha. In the function, create a variable total with an initial value of 0. So total equals 0 for each item in the food list. I think they're talking about the shopping list. Maybe. For each item in the food list, add the price of that item to total. So that would be that would be this bit. Total plus equals food, I think, is how it would look. Finally, return the total. Ignore whether or not the item you're billing for is in stock. Note that your function should work for any food list. Okay. So that's why I think they're referencing food instead of stock or the shopping list. I'm not too sure. Either way, we're going to start hammering this thing out. I want to reference this, but I kind of want to type my own. We're going to do both. There's that. That's our guide to look at. But we're still going to type our own. Because it's scrolled down, and I can't see up there when it's scrolled down. So there's that. We've got it to reference here. We're going to type below. Let's do this. Okay. Define a function, compute bill. Here it comes. Define, compute, bill, parentheses, food. That's where food's coming from. It was this. So the food that gets referenced, total plus food. When number becomes food, it's because we're referring to food up here. So everything makes sense. All is right in the world. We've completed the circuit. Okay. In the function, create a variable total with an initial value. How come that didn't? We'll get there. 2, 3, 4. Total equals 0. For each item on the food list, add the price of that item to total. So we got total. We step it out. Wait. For each item in the food list, add the price of that item to total. So we should have for food in food, colon. Also, this guy gets a colon. Total plus equals food. I think. Pretty sure. And then for finally return total. So let's back that up. Return total. Totally drawing a blank, even though it's right in front of me. Brain's on edge. All right. So there's that. Ignore whether or not the item you're billing is for is in stock. Note that the function should work for any food list. They don't reference printing, so I think we're okay for now. So we can get rid of print, or we don't need to worry about having print, and we're just gonna run. We're gonna run this. I don't know if I need to. We're just gonna run it. Fuck it. Fuck the world. Damn. Compute built apple resulted in a type error. Unsupported operand types for plus equals int string. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Stephen broke the interwebs. What was our goal? Define the function compute bill. So that's our shopping list. So we're going to do food in shopping list. See if that makes our lives any better. Oh god, not there. Not there. In shopping list. Doesn't like that. What about food in stock? Doesn't like that. Prices? Changing these isn't going to do anything. So what exactly does that mean? Compute built apple resulted in a type error. Unsupported operand types for plus equals integers and strings. Shopping list equals oranges, bananas, and apples. Death, death, death. D D D D D D D. La da da D D D D D D D D D D. Okay. Okay. We're looking here. We're gonna put you back to food. Claws. Ah, little cat. Little cat, you've been napping for an hour and 52 minutes. Just chilling in my lap. Look at this. Look at this. She's moved. Barely. And there we go. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, so remember that that was her, and now that's her. Yeah, but this was an hour ago, then an hour went by, and now she's this. Do something with your life, cat. Dear God. Let me get back to chat. Okay. Dee 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 dee. There seems to be a crisis. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Okay. Good, good. Okay, back to reality, right? Here we go. Cat averted. Changing brightness. D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. Okay, here we go. We're back to it. When iterating, you should name your placeholder variable differently than your dictionary variable. So maybe food item in food. Oh. Hold on. When iterating, you should name your placeholder variable differently than your dictionary variable. All right. So maybe food underscore item in food. Oh, aha. Gotcha. Okay, let me get... Oh, I'm trapped in OBS. Like, I'm clicking on the code. Food underscore item. And food... Close. They still don't like me, but there's a 95% that I misinterpreted what you were saying. Also, on that note, I totally agree. That makes sense, having unique items. But, like, in their oh, no, they do have number and numbers. Damn. So, what is it supposed to be? Food. So, for food items, define. Now you're going to need to know how much you're paying for the items in your grocery list. Shopping list. So this is supposed to be shopping list. For food in shopping list. That's the other thing. So I had it in the wrong area. But it still doesn't like the... No, that won't fix your error. Just a styling thing. Ah, yes. Well, good. Fine. Alright. Don't mind me making a purchase. Just to get an idea. Making a purchase. Do. We've got compute bill food. Total equals that. Number in food. Strange. Total plus prices number. Total. That looks odd. Plus prices. I solved this problem. Sorry. Total plus prices number. I need to reference the whole dictionary. Is that the issue? So it would be shopping list food. Is that right? Yeah, shopping list food. Maybe. Plus shopping list food. No. Yeah, that felt dumb, even when I was saying it. My bad. I apologize. I'm desperate. That was total crap. I've been stuck on this exercise for entirely too long, about ready to give up. Never give up. I've gone back to previously, although we did call it quits early on day 45, so, you know, never give up after 45 days, though. There's a 45-day limit before you can give up. The code I've written below should work just fine, I think. Yeah, food plus item. Oh. Maybe it's food and then shopping list? Solve. The problem's here. Food plus item. That's the bit that I'm confused on. Keep getting the error. Try again. Compute bill Apple resulted in type. That's exactly what we're getting. I'm not getting any errors in the interpreter, so I think my syntax is okay. It's just don't understand why it seems to be pulling the key itself instead of the value. The problem seems to be here, total plus food item. The computer is looking at shopping list, aka food, and trying to string from that list to total, an integer. To find the right total, you have to take the sum of the prices using the prices dictionary in order to have an integer plus an integer. The food argument tells us what is on our shopping list. The for loop goes through all the items and lists and should only look for the prices we need to get the total bill. Hope this helps. Yeah, kind of, but what's the actual code for it, though? Conceptually, I get that. We'll do food item for blank in food. That's so strange. I found your issue. That's great, but why don't they tell them what the solution is? Isn't that weird? Doesn't that seem slightly odd? Okay, I'm heading out. Ephemeral, thank you so much for all the assistance and just hanging out. Seriously, totally appreciate it. You rock. Have a great rest of your day. I'll be here for 300 plus more days, so, you know, yeah. But anyways, good times. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you around. We are on the edge. We're right there, little cat. We're gonna get this. Total plus food item. This is brutal. Total plus food. We're gonna rename it. Food entry plus food item. Maybe. Eh? Alright. We are right there. We will find our answer, little cat. Making a purchase. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Your code did not run to end. Or you need a colon at the end of your for loop statement. For item in food. You will need to indent total equals total plus prices item so that it is part of the for loop. Note that there is no need to indent return total because you are running this after the for loop finishes and has completed the total. In Python 3, the print statement has been replaced with the print function. So you need to use print like a function. Print compute bill shopping list. Unless this exercise is using greater than Python 3, in this case you should be fine. Here is the complete fix that I've described above. Define compute bill food, total equals item in food, total equals total plus prices, return print compute, blah, 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 blah. I'm putting my money on this guy's right. Edwin knows what's up. If this works, we're going to celebrate, little cat. So also, what is inherently different? We have compute bill food, total 0, for food. Oh god, that's his. For item in food, total equals total plus prices item. Compute bill, blah, 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 blah. All right. Here we go. Save and submit. Shocking. 7.5. Why the hell did that work? I mean, I get that it worked because it's correct. It's not wrong. Define compute bill food, which is anything we want it to be. Total is 0. That's what we're starting with. 4 items, because we're defining variables of variables. 4 items in food. The total will be total, which is 0, plus the prices of the items. And then it's going to return the total. And we're going to print compute bill for shopping list. So shopping list, these items from shopping list get pulled in and thrown into compute bill. Compute bill then processes all of this noise and then it prints it out, giving us our total 7.5. Holy hell. 12 of 13. Oh, stalking out. I thought it said stroking out, like having a stroke. I was like, we are on the edge of having a stroke as well. How timely named. Little kitty, this hurts. I think we're gonna make it. She keeps moving. She's so cute. Look at her. She's just a cat. Dan 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 dan. Look at her. Dan dan dan. She's moved. Ding 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 ding. Tiny cat. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Back in the chat. Chat life. Right. So that worked. We're on to section 12. Strokes. Stocking out. Now you need your compute bill function to take the stock inventory of a particular item into account when computing the cost. Ultimately, you won't fall asleep on stream. Ultimately, oh my god, my back hasn't moved for like 3 hours. This is so painful. Death. Oh, that was a bad decision. Stretching is a bad idea. Okay. No one move. It hurts. Ultimately, if an item isn't in stock, then it shouldn't be included in the total. You can't buy or sell what you don't have, unless it's a Ponzi scheme. Instructions. Make the following changes to your compute bill functions. Technically, I don't know if that's really accurate for a Ponzi scheme. I mean, that's really just people investing, although you know it's never going to pay out. I guess it's kind of like buying something that isn't there. More long term, I suppose. Anywho, back to this. Instructions. Make the following changes to your compute bill function. Alright, we're making changes. While you loop through each item of food, compute bill food, only add the price of item to total if the stock item is greater than 0. We get to use carrots. So food greater than 0. If the item is in stock, and after you add the price to total, subtract 1 from the item's stock count. Ooh. Clever. If you're buying banana, check if it's in stock, larger than 0. If it's in stock, add the cost of your banana to the bill. Finally, decrement? Interesting. Decrement the stock of the bananas by 1. So stock is item minus 1. Little cat, I need to move my leg, but you've been there for like 2.5 hours or something like that. 2 hours and 12 minutes that I haven't moved my leg. We're gonna have to amputate it. Alright. While you loop through each item of food, only add the price of item if it's greater than 0. So we're gonna do food greater than equal to 1. Or food greater than 0. 2, if the item is in stock and you add the price to the total, subtract 1 from the item's stock. Total equals total plus price. Then item minus 1. I want to put either stock equals item minus 1. I want to do that. Let's try that. Fire. Damn. This was stalking out. Hey, enjoys turtles. That's not gonna work. Thank God. Yeah, no, it's met with Does not look, stock item minus equal 1. That's what it was. Okay, and there's a conditional statement. If stock item is greater than 0, and then if stock item is that. Okay. I'm going to take you. Okay, so the real version should look like that. If, don't mind me, we gotta clean this up. If stock item is greater than 0, and we'll clear out that abomination. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, I think, and let's get everybody on the same page. That's nice. That's better. Submit? Hopefully? No. Still wrong. You big dumb idiot. Try again. Your code looks a bit off. See the console window for the error. Check. Oh, yeah, no, it was that. That was stupid. That was me guessing. This was the correct way to do it. If the stock item is greater than 0, not if all of the food is greater than 0. Still terrible. File, line 22. Line 22. Unexpected indented block. Oh, because the if statement needs to be before. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Python and all its spacing nonsense. Still wrong, but we got something. Look at that. We are slowly, incrementally, we're improving. Or at least we're not staying in the spot. Improving, getting worse. They're so similar, right? Stock doesn't look quite right. Make sure to not call compute bill as it changes the stock. It should contain orange 32, pear 15, banana, apple, blah. Okay, so clearly I missed something from this bit. We've got our shopping list. We have our stock and our prices. 1, 2, 3. Shopping list, stock, prices, golden. Focusing on the code bit. Compute bill food, total food item, blah, blah, blah. Copy. Set your return statement on the same indentation level as your loop and it should work. 4x, sum code, return is 4. Yeah, our return statement is all the same as 4. Don't mind me. Oh, we forgot D. And that should be bad. Whoa. Okay. So, what is different between this, copy, and this? We're going to delete that. Command Z. So, this is what I have typed, and now we're going to paste over what they have. So this is what I have. This is what they have. Plus equals price item instead of total equals total plus price item, or plus equals price item. See that? On line 22. Right there, yeah. So that's what I have. Total equals total plus price item. That's wrong. And that's total plus price item. So let's get rid of this noise. Still wrong. Damn. I've overlooked the simple stuff. Define, compute bill, colon, total, food for item. Did I forget a colon? Is that what I did? No? Seems okay. This is terrible. Little kitty, the ship is sinking. We're going down. And you're just napping there like there's no issue. There's clearly an issue. So 5.5. Stock doesn't look quite right. Make sure to not call compute bill since it changes the stock. It should contain orange 32. So I just do that. Is that what they want? Code looks a bit off. Check the hint if you need help. Damn. So close, yet so far away. We will keep digging, stalking out. Oh, stock item equals -1. No? Don't understand where I'm going wrong. You and me both. My eats. The error message from Python, line 22, total blah. Indentational error. Expected an indent block. Tells you when you have an indentation error. Tiny URL. Same for everyone. Fix the user to load the code. Please make a new topic within templates. We have details. Blah, 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 blah. Total plus equals price item. Yeah. That's awful too. Food bill if stock item greater than 0. Price item, stock item. What's wrong? A function ends the moment you return when a return keyword is reached. If the return keyword is reached in a loop, the loop simply breaks and the function ends. So good. Shopping list, write your code below. Oops, try again. Call compute bill containing one app, one banner. Replace this line with your code. We cannot see the indentation in code because it was not formatted. However, the likely problem is that statement is indented too much. causing the function to terminate during the first iteration of the for loop, return total. It's best to format code when you post so we can see the important details. So maybe it's an indentation loop, or an issue with indentation. Total, if. Don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Let's back this up. Submit. Looks a bit off. Let's try stalking out Codecademy. This is painful. I think it's correct, but it won't pass stalking out. Define. Total equals 0 for item in food if stock less than 0, total plus equals price item, stock item minus equals 1. Return total, print, compute, bill, groceries. Am I missing something? La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da works for me. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Yeah, this is working. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Delete print compute groceries to run. Oh my god, are you kidding me? It's the print groceries? Are you serious? That's been our issue? Why in God's name would they not say delete print? Do you see what I'm talking about? First, let's reserve judgment until we run it. Okay. Good. Still terrible. Looks like your code is a bit off. I think it's talking about this. Try again. Oh, that worked. So, back to the printing issue. You suck. Oh, God. Why? Why? Look at this. Nope, we're going to go through. Stocking. Now you need to compute your bill function to take the stock inventory of a particular item into account when computing costs. Ultimately, if an item isn't in stock, then it shouldn't be included. You can't buy or sell what you don't have. Instructions. Make the following changes. Make the following changes to your compute bill function. Compute bill function. 1. While you loop through each item of food, only add the price of the item total if the item's stock count is greater than 0. That's 1. Okay? Only add price of item to the total if the stock count is greater than 0. Check. Greater than 0. Golden. One thing to do. 2. If the item is in stock and after you add the price to total, subtract 1 from the item's stock count. Subtract 1 from the item's stock count. Oh, look at that. That's it. That's all it says to do. There's still the print thing, the print, compute, bill, nonsense, and more quotes and shopping, whatever. Right? Okay, we all saw it. Hint, you're buying a banana. Let's also check the hint. Clearly, we've seen it. Doesn't reference, out of all the things that we're supposed to do, getting rid of the print issue at the bottom. Or the print command, whatever. Hint, though, if you're buying a banana, check if it's in stock, larger than 0. If it's not in stock, add the cost of a banana to your bill. Finally, decrement the stock of the banana by 1. Finally! As in, that's it. That should be the last thing. But no, even if you were to run that, despite that being stupid, it would give us an error. But you actually have to remove printing. But they're never going to tell you that. Fascinating. Isn't that interesting? I think it's interesting. CC, Capitalk? We're going to go with Capitalk. I think you need to indent lines 22 and 23. Yes, most definitely. I definitely needed to indent those before that. However, I was just venting regarding it's been one roadblock after another. Their instructions are lackluster, to say the least. So the last section we did this. There's this lovely print compute bill shopping list at the end of it, and that runs just fine. It computes your shopping list based off the prices and blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So we came to the next lesson. I am going on to the next one. Just some backstory. But they had that stupid printing thing at the bottom, and they don't tell you to remove it. So that's why the code kept failing, in addition to the indent thing. But I digress. On to the last section. On to section 13, I think. Yep, last section. Let's check out. Alright, with that said, let's check out. Perfect. You've done a great job with this list and dictionaries in this project. You've practiced using for loops with lists and dictionaries, writing functions with loops, lists, and dictionaries, updating in response to changes in the environment, for instance, decreasing the number of bananas in stock by 1 when you sell one. Thanks for shopping at Codecademy Supermarket. Click the Save and Submit code to finish this course. Nothing left to do on section 13. We'll do that. Section done. A day at the supermarket. We survived, little cat. Hey, you hear that? Psst. You, down there. She's still asleep. Alright, day at the supermarket conquered. Thank God. Let's do the next. Up next, student becomes the teacher. Use what you've learned so far to manage your own class. I don't know if that's actually the next lesson. We'll hit start lesson, but I don't believe them. Maybe it is. No? Yeah, it's Python. Start your own lesson. 47% of the way through. Alright. So we completed section 5. All that's the pro stuff that you gotta pay for, but we're tackling all the free stuff. Section 6, student becomes the teacher. We'll take a peek at it. Nine sections. I think we're probably going to save that for tomorrow. But lesson number 1. Welcome to this challenge course. Until now, we've been leading you by the hand. More of suggesting secret instructions, really. Leading by the hand is heavy-handed, for lack of a better phrase. Leading you by the hand and working on some short and relatively easy projects. This is the challenge, or this is a challenge, so be ready. We have faith in you. Okay. Again, we're going to save this noise for tomorrow, I think. We're going to back out. We're going to take a look at how far we've come. 47% of the way through. 508 points. View my profile. Good times. Yeah, it's day 47 and I have 74 badges. Get it? 47 and 74. It's the same number but reversed. Isn't that impressive, little cat? She doesn't care. No one else cares. That's alright. Alright, well, I think that's it for day 47. Tomorrow, day 48, we will tackle the next student becomes a teacher section. Until then, we will close out of all this noise. And from there, we will kill the stream. That is it for today. How long did we stream for? 2.5 hours. Little cat, you have been napping for 2.5 hours straight. You're still asleep. Can't believe you. You're ridiculous. Alright. Killing the stream. Stop stream? Sure you want to kill it? Yeah.